Alright, hello again, this is Jeff Scott. I've been going through the exercises for Homework 2 for 152, 149, the secure coding in C class. Now we're going to write a C program, as you can see on the screen, to execute or to create an array with 100 random integers, each integer between 1 and 100. We are then going to present a simple menu, and I'm going to actually change the order of this. Rather than quit the program last, I'm going to have quit the program be first. So that'll be I don't remember if I did it with numbers or letters, so let me check. Did it with numbers. So 0 will be to quit the program, 1 will be to print the numbers on the screen in their original order, 2 will be to print the numbers in ascending, 3 will be to print them in descending. 4 will get the, I think I flipped this, flip this around too, so I did the smallest first. Since I did ascending and then descending, I did smallest and then largest, so that's 4, that's 5, 6 will be the sum, and 7 will be the average, unless I numbered something twice. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Looks like I'm missing something here, so. Oh, I am missing one, because number 1 was actually to generate 100 new numbers, so. So that is to generate 100 random numbers between 1 and 100. So that'll be if we enter a 1. If we enter a 2, we'll give the numbers in original order. A 3 will be the numbers in ascending order. A 4 will be the numbers in descending order. A 5 will get us the smallest number. A 6 will get us the largest number. A 7 will get us the sum of all elements. And finally, an 8 will give us the average array element size. Now, again, I'm not going to put pointers into this program. And it's going to be interesting because I do have it in mind, so I'm just going to have to get the pointers out of there and when I rewrite it for you here. And if you want to try to get a B, you can add pointers, and if you're happy with it the way it is, then you can just write it the way it is. And as always, I'm going to hit enter a few times, give myself some room. Alright, as we started last time, this is a little bigger program than the last one, not real much, but so I'm going to have my include files. I actually have 4 of them here. stdio.h, which is the standard one that we have all the time. stdili, standard lib. I think I needed that one for working with the random numbers. String.h, and then finally time.h, which I think I also used in accordance with the random numbers. Alright, I had one program constant. I pound defined size. I made it size 100. And I said that would be the array size. Now, when you're testing this, as I'm doing right there, but when you're testing it, I'm going to just make this 10 for now, and then I'll change it to 100 later, because otherwise I'm going to be generating 100 numbers, and it's going to be very ugly to read on the screen. 10 is going to be much easier to work with. Alright, so I'll have here user-defined data type, and just like we did previously, whoops, we are going to type def enum false, true, and we will again, call this bool. And that doesn't belong there. Okay. I'm going to have a couple global variables in this program. Should I have done it like this? I don't know. but to be honest with you, I did do it like this, so I'm just going to keep it the way it is. So I made my array, which I called numbers, and I made it of type size, so again it'll be 10, but later I'll change it to 100. And I'm going to set that equal to 0, which is going to zero out all of the array elements. I'm going to have another array that I'm just going to call ASC for ascending. It's going to be the same size as the previous array. And I'm going to also initialize all of its elements to 0. Finally, I'll have one more here that's called descending, also of size, which again I'm going to set equal to 0, all of the elements. All right. A couple more things I put in here that I decided to make global, just so I didn't have to be passing too much stuff around. And again, you can make your own determinations as to whether or not I should have done that, but I did it. I had something I called Mo, and it was something for option, but I don't remember what. All right, it's been a while since I've done this one. So, and I'm going to set that equal to, since it's a char, the empty string. I'm going to have a variable called option, which I'm going to set that equal to 0. That'll be my menu option. And then my program continue variable. Set that equal to y. All right, let's get this. We'll call this original array, or array in original order. How's that? Probably a little cleaner. This will be the array in ascending order. And finally, for all these, this will be the array in descending order. Okay. This again, well, I just put down here value for string. It'll make more sense later. This will be the menu option, which is going to have to be 0 through 8. And this will be the program continue variable. So those are all of my pound-defined constants, my user-defined variable type, and my global variables. So that's all of them. I had a total, including main, I had a total of 7 functions. Or is it 6? Let me check. Oh no, I had more than that. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11 functions in the program, which would make sense that I have several because there's 9 menu options, all right, including exiting the program. So I've got my function prototypes are going to come here next, and again, there's going to be several of them. And I ended up, because of the fact that I made these variables global up here, I ended up not having to pass as much stuff in, so I've got quite a few, quite a few things that are in here that are of type void. All right, that'll be the function to show me my menu. This will, I tried to make it pretty self-documenting to fill the array. This will show the menu options. This will call the correct array function. This will sort in ascending order. This will sort in descending order. That's the end of page 1 of 5 pages. This will print the array. we'll need an array print. All right, I made one generic function to print any of the arrays. Like I said, when I'm going through this, I'm not going to show you it I'm not going to show you it with the pointers in it, so this might be a little funky at times. I might have to say, no, wait a minute. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 10 functions right there. 5, 6, 7, 8. Looks like that's how many I had. All right, so that's in addition to main. I've got these. So let's write main. And I couldn't remember for the life of me how to work with this stuff with random numbers. So this right here, this sran, this is seeding the ran, so it's making sure that we get new and really truly valid numbers every time as much as we can. All right, I'm going to put some comments in here as we go on. So I'm going to say initial array fill. So I want to make sure when the program starts that the array is filled. Why do I want to do that? Well, I want to make sure it's filled ahead of time so that in case, instead of choosing the option to fill the array, if the person running the program immediately says, give me the sum of the elements, well, it's going to say 0 for all that stuff if the array is empty, because what we did, remember up here, is we set it equal to 0. All right? So I'm immediately going to call fill array. Then I'm going to go into my program loop. So while again equal y. So what do we want to do? Well, begin our menu operations is what I called it, by calling menu. Then we want to call the correct array function. In other words, do we want to get the sum of the array elements? What do we want to do? Okay. So this is while again is equal to yes. And here's a surprise for you. That's it for main. That's it. Now if it makes it a little easier for you, and maybe this would, all right, I'll put a little delimiters in here. At the end of each one of these. Maybe I should have done that in the last one. I didn't. So again, all we're doing here in main, all right, is we're, again, remember what this is called, seed the rand. Okay? Initial array fill, come in here, and we're telling it to show us the menu and then call the correct function. So one of those functions will be to end the program. Otherwise, we'd be in an infinite loop. So that's the first part. As we continue on here, we're going to have fill array. A lot of these routines are very small. I like that. So to fill the array, for int I equal 0, I less than size, which is the size of our array, I plus plus. Remember, all we want to do here is fill the array. All right, so we're going to say numbers, which is our array, or the original array, sub I equals, call the rand function, modulo it by 100, and add 1, because when we modulo it by 100, it'll give us a number between 0 and 99. Now it's a number between 1 and 100. Grab that number we just generated and add it to our ascending array. Take that number we just generated and add it to our descending array. So when we get done with this routine, when we call this routine, numbers, ascending or ASC, and descending or DESC, they all contain the same thing. And the good news is that's the whole routine. That's it. Just fill the array. And really, I could have called it filled arrays instead of array, which would have probably been cleaner. right? So next we want to show, basically set up our menu. All right. Oops. And we want to show the menu options. That's going to show the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll write that one next. All right. And then we have to validate selected menu option. In other words, we have to make sure that the person put in a number between 1 and 8. All right. So while option less than 1, we could have used constants here, but I didn't, or option greater than 8. Well, if that's the case, we know they put in something invalid. So what do we want to do? We want to call show menu options again. All right, that's that whole routine. See where there's a lot of brevity in here? Okay. So right now, I can call this to make sure that fill array is working, so I can call that. All right, and I've got menu. Did I write menu yet? Yeah, there's menu, but I didn't write show options yet. So until I write show options, there's really not, it doesn't pay too much to go in and start testing this. So let me write that one, and then we'll go in and we'll run what we have thus far. But again, hopefully you notice, all fits on one screen, all fits on one screen, all fits on one screen. That's good. All right. So this is going to be showing the menu options. We're now done with 2 out of 5 pages. So we have to basically copy this. That's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then when we get done, we'll tell them please enter a number between 0, 8 now. All right, so enter a 0, enter a 1, enter a 2, enter a 3, enter a 4, enter a 5, 5, 6, 7, and 8. We don't need all these. All right, we're just about there. All right, so 0 is to quit. 1 is to generate 100 new random numbers for the array. 2 is to print the numbers array in its original order. 3 is to print the numbers array in ascending order. In other words, we're going to print the array that's called ASC. Next, we want to print the numbers array in descending order, which means we want to print the DESC array. Whoa, I lost some stuff here. And it was on me, I'm sure. All right. 5 will be to print the smallest numbers array element. 6 will be to print the largest numbers array element. 7 will be to print the sum of all array elements. And 8 will be to print the average of the numbers array elements. And we're saying to enter a 0 through 8 now. Okay. And we'll scan that in. So that'll be a %s and what did we call that? Mo, I guess. And then we're going to attempt to convert value into its integer equivalent. All right, so again, option, which is our menu option, equals a to I of mo. That's that whole routine. So again, you see that we're writing routines that by and large are quite small. Now that's going to end now because we're in our next one, in our call array function, what we're going to have to put in there is a case statement that, you know, if it's a 0, we'll want to end the program, a 1 to fill the array, a 2 to print the original array, a 3 to sort and print the ascending array, a 4 to sort and print the descending array, a 5 to print the smallest value, a 6 to print the largest value, a 7 to print the sum of the array elements, and an 8 to print the array average. So that's going to be pretty big. That's the bad news. The good news is our sort ascending, our sort descending, our print array, our print sum, our print average, our calculate, all of those should be under about no more than about 10 lines each. So this next function is going to be pretty big, but then they'll get smaller after that. What is he saying? There's some light beyond the horizon or whatever it is. Again, I'm going to hit enter a few times just so I've got some blank space in here. All right. Call my array function now. I'm making this static, and what this does is this sets my array flag true or false initially for ascending and for descending. And I don't want them to be reset every time that I come in there. I only want them to be set the first time. Then they'll be reset as needed in the program. All right, so I'm going to switch on the menu option. Remember that menu option, I made that up here. I made that one of my global variables, so I didn't have to pass it all over the place. You want to, you can make yours non-global, and then you have to pass it around. I just, like I said, for brevity's sake and whatever, I just decided to do it this way. Case 0. Well, if it's a 0, I want to end the program. So I'm going to set again equal to n, which means set it equal to no. And I'm going to break. That's it for that one. If it's a 1, I want to fill the array, and I want to break. If it's a 2, I want to print the array, and the array that I want to print is the numbers array. Here's a hint: if you're going to do some work with pointers, you won't want to pass numbers like that. You'll want to pass it a little differently. In case 3, what I want to do is I want to sort the array in ascending order, and after I get done with that, I want to print the array. But the array that I want to print now is not numbers, it's ASC. And then I want to break. All right. Case 4 is the same thing, except it's descending. So, cheating a little bit here. Again, I just don't feel like taking a year and a half to write these. So now I'm going to sort, so this is case 4. I want to sort in descending order. And I want to print the descending array. Case 5, well, if the ascending order flag is not set, that means I haven't put the array in ascending order yet. So if that's true, if I have not yet tried to sort the array in ascending order, then I better do it. So I'll call sort ascending, and I'll set that flag to true. So I don't, in other words, I only want to sort the ascending order array or the descending order array once. That's it. It should just make sense. That's the end of page 3 out of 5 pages. And what I can do now is, after I've done all this stuff, before I break, I can print, because now what I know is that the first element in the ascending array is my smallest number. So I can say print the smallest array element is the first element in the ascending array. Just like that. And again, my case 6 is the same as my case 5, except instead of being ascending, it's descending. So if you can see all that stuff, so this is 6, and instead of my ascending flag, I want that to be my descending flag. I want to sort it in descending order. I want to set the descending flag to false. That's all the same. Then here I want to say the largest array element, and that's in descending, 0. Okay? So now I've got 7 and 8 left. If it was a 7, I wanted the sum of all the array elements. So I'm going to print array sum, and I'm going to break. And if it's an 8, I'm going to print the array average. These are all routines I have to write yet, and I'm going to break. All right. If it's anything that's not a 0 through 8, that'll be my default case. That shouldn't be possible. But just in case, I'll just go ahead and I'll set again equal to n. And I'll break. And that's that whole routine. So as you can see, it's a little longer, probably 2 screens worth. All right. But now every other function that we have in here should be fairly small. Now I'm not sure if we tried to write to compile and run this right now, we might come up with an error message because some of those functions haven't been created yet. But let's try it. clarray.c, and there you go. Missing this. So, all right. gave me something about a double equal in line 86, so I just was going to look at that. Oh, that would probably be good there. Let's look at that one more time. So you can see, now we've only got two errors. Lines 162 and 173, false, not a function. Oops, I don't want that. And I don't want that. Okay. So let's see, with what we've got so far. Okay, this is, when you get errors that look like this, I'm actually, believe it or not, I'm glad this happened. Because when you get errors that look like this, what that means is there are things that have been defined up in the prototype at the top that have not yet been written. So these are the 6 functions we have to start writing. So I'm going to keep that up there. Notice that there's sort descending, print array, print sum, print array average, sort ascending with a descending, and print referenced. And notice there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. As we start to write these functions and we fill in, so to speak, the gaps, you're going to notice that with each one of these, I'm going to go back and I'm going to run the program again. And each time I run one, you're going to notice how the size of this has gone down. So let's first write the sort ascending. And hopefully you understand this, but virtually the sort ascending and the sort descending are virtually the same. They're virtually the same program. There's just 1 or 2 lines between them, or things between them that are different. All right? What I want to do in my ascending is I'm going to do a simple bubble sort. So I want to be able to compare my current value in the array with the next value in the array, and that's what temp is for. Holds value for possible switch. If I have to switch those values. Okay? All right. I'm going to need 2 for loops here. My outer for loop for int I equals 0, I less than size I plus plus, and then curlies, and another for loop, int, not I again, but j equals 0, j less than size minus 1, j plus plus, again my curlies. Now I just have to compare the current array element, which is ASC sub j, with the next element in the list, which is ASC j plus 1. And if it turns out that the next one is bigger than the current one, I have to flip them. So I take what's in the current one and I assign that to temp. Remember, that's my holding area, whatever you want to call it. Then I take what's in the second array element of the 2 that I'm comparing, and I set that equal to the next one. I don't know if you agree with this or not, but sometimes I think that when I line stuff up like that, it makes it a little easier to see. All right. So that ends that function. That's all of sort ascending, and it's all of it. But the descending is virtually the same thing. So I'm going to copy that, put it in here, but before I do that, let's not do that yet. Let's grab that, and let's save. Now, remember what I said before. There are 6 unresolved externals, and one of them is sort ascending, which we just had. We just wrote. Now, well, it says redefinition, basic types. So there's something in here that it doesn't like on 198. Talk on. I prototype it differently? There's sort ascending, it's right there. Usually it's with that error that I got, it's I'm missing a curly brace. I don't see any that I'm missing up till that point. J, I size -1. Because I see I've got semicolons at the end of every executable line. Line 198, sort ascending, redefinition, different basic types. Int I, int j, that's correct. J, I, j, that's correct. Everything that's in there is correct. So this says void, sort ascending. And that says void, sort ascending. Well, once again, rather than waste my time and your time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause this right now and try to fix the problem and then come back.